know, today is Juneteenth, which marks the end of slavery here in the United States. While this day is a cause for celebration, it's also an important day for us and our families to reflect on the history of our country and our state. If you're looking for a creative way to explain this important holiday to your kids, our next guest may be able to help. The Children's Museum of the Low Country will be celebrating Juneteenth today with the Littles of the Low Country, and we have Karen Coltrane, the CEO and president, in studio now to tell us about it and some other fun events to take your family to this week. Welcome back, Karen.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
As you said, today is Juneteenth, and even though I'm here, we're open at the museum, and we're celebrating with like fun bracelets. I wore one today for all the kids that kind of have special messages about freedom and that it's a day to celebrate, and we're all doing that with activities throughout the museum. So,
do you have any advice also for parents to kind of, explain this and the significance to their kids today?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is to be realistic about it and to take it on head on. I've had a lot of parents say to me, well, it's such a touchy subject, and it's not for children. I think because, I would point to slavery throughout history. It's not just a United States thing, but it was not our best moment, and all of us have not our best moments, and we need to learn from them, face them, the reality of it, learn from them, and move on.
Definitely. Well, it's so nice that you guys are doing something at the museum to commemorate this, and kids will hopefully understand a little bit more through those smaller things.
Yeah, in an age-appropriate way. I mean, it depends on the age of the child, obviously, the level of the conversation that you have, and individual parents know their own children and what they can handle and talk about, but I think it's really important that we talk about it.
Yeah, and if you're off of work today, head out to the museum. I know a lot of the kids are already out of school, but it's a great place.
We are now open except for the 4th of July, and the only reason we're closed for that is really downtown empties out, and we're giving our staff a chance to have one summer holiday. But the rest, every day we're open from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Lots of fun stuff coming up at the museum for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of fun stuff, I have 2 things to tell you about that. Today is a big day for us, and this weekend, Friday is Fossil Friday with our friends and neighbors near us at the Charleston Museum, and they do a beautiful job with that. From 3:30 to 4:30 on Friday, kids can get up close and personal with fossils. So if you got a little scientist in the house or a child that you think might be interested in that, they're speaking to experts at the museum, and it's free with admission, or if you have a membership, it's free, however you get in. It might make a nice Friday afternoon outing. So, and then jumping ahead to Sunday is another free event that's called Music in Nature. I was really excited about this. It's a classical children's concert, and it's Sunday the 23rd at 2 p.m. at the Lutheran Church on Hazel Street downtown. So it's a quartet featuring a flute, violin, viola, and cello. And I played 2 of those, flute and violin, when I was a little one. So, but the format includes interaction, and it's an opportunity to talk to the performers and meet the instruments after the concert. So while it's free, they do ask you to register on Eventbrite for that one. Awesome. So something for the scientists, something for the musicians, art and science, we love all that combined together. And then I'll get into reading, because at our St. George location, we started camp this month, and it's in full swing, and that's a reading camp, and that got me thinking about reading. We can only serve 30 children in that camp, and we have 30. But it got me thinking about what other parents can do if they don't have their child in a reading camp to keep reading over the summer. So, it's experts encourage us to get library books, but I was like, well, what's, technology-wise, not every parent has time to go to the library, get the books, return the books. I was always good about getting them. It was the returning that gets difficult. So I wanted to talk today about apps that I wish had been around when I had a little one at home. Back then, an app was something you filled out for a job. It was not a thing on your phone. But my favorite one is Teach Your Monster to Read. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah. So it's free, so that's a good thing. And since I'm a fan of children's museums, I like anything that puts learning and fun together.
Definitely.
And they've really mastered that. This is actually a nonprofit organization. It's not a company that is put this together, and they collaborate with educators around the world. I really ended up doing a deep dive on them because I was fascinated with it. But children get to design their own monster. So for the budding artists that like to, you know, have the colors match, all those things, they create their own character, which I thought was very interesting because that gives the children buy-in as their character is then taken through storylines that help with reading.
Yeah.
So then they've also expanded into math and now nutrition. And I thought that was very interesting because that can really help. It said turn a picky eater into an adventurous eater.
Ooh, we need that.
So yeah, we do need that. A lot of moms and dads need that. So check out, you can just Google Teacher Monster to read and it'll all come up there. The second one a lot of parents may know about, but it's called EPIC. So if you do EPIC with an exclamation point at the end. And it's really like having a library inside your iPad or the computer. It's been called the Netflix of children's books or children reading apps, and it costs about the same as Netflix. So I want to put that caveat out there. It's about $14 a month, but it's a library of 40,000 children's books. So there's no doubt a child can find something they're interested in, and it really does sometimes take that for the slow to get to it reader. I raised one of those, really bright kid, but he just wasn't as interested in, like the girls like you would have been reading at 3 and he was 5 going, I'm
good.
And yeah, it took Captain Underpants, something gross that he liked, to get him to read. So this would this should be helpful. There's something in there for everybody. But the feature it has I really like is that as it reads to the children, it highlights the words, just like the same action we would do if we were reading to a child and pointing along with the words. So so very helpful in figuring out phonics, sight words, all of those things. So and nothing stops you from curling up on the couch with your child just like you would a book with an iPad or laptop and reading together. So
it goes to show that there are some benefits of, you know, the screen time, a little bit.
Yes. I've never been anti-screen time. I am a little cautious before the age of 2, simply because there's a lot of in the visual cortex, getting that right. That children need to be seeing distances. Until the eye is mature. There's some physical reasons that you might want to stay off screens too little. But yeah, as soon as they're in this age range, the reading age, you know, I like to use technology when it's beneficial, and I think these things can be. In addition to a good book, there's nothing more wonderful than curling up with a hard copy book you picked out from the library, but that isn't always feasible, and you want them reading.
Yeah, this is great for our busy moms and dads out there. We know there are a lot of you.
It's summer, so make sure they're playing. But it doesn't hurt in the heat of the day to do an hour of, you know,
little break.
Yeah, a little break and do a little academics to keep those skills fresh.
Definitely. Well, don't forget, guys, the Children's Museum is open today on Juneteenth. Karen, thank you so much for being here and for